p.m.
What's up, nation? Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and I am bringing you another solo podcast, breaking down the games for Wednesday, September 19th, 2018. Got ourselves a nice little 10-game slate here. No early slate at wisetake.com. There's not 4 games. We only do early content for 4 games or more. So it'll just be the main slate tomorrow as we once again prepare for some NFL DFS this Sunday. I got basketball right around the corner. Those of you guys who are with us for basketball, we are super excited. We're going to be doing, Paulie D is going to be doing cheat sheets for the preseason. So we're going to throw up a little sale for the NBA season pass for those of you interested. You'll get a pretty significant discount to sign up early with the lump sum up front. And you'll get preseason access included with that. It's cheat sheets from Paulie D, the ever so popular cheat sheets from last year. It is almost time. With that said, there's still money to be made in baseball regular season. We are winding down. I think a lot of these teams only have like 11 to 12 somewhere games left. So it's crunch time. Got to grind it out and continue to capitalize on what's been an awesome MLB DFS season at Wise Take. Without further ado, let's jump into Wednesday's slate. So we got Walker Buehler up top, kind of headlining things. Buehler's looked awesome. I did catch this game against St. Louis. He did awesome for me. 9 Ks, 8 innings, no earned runs, only 2 hits, put up 37. Just destroyed. He is playing Colorado, a team he did not do too well against in Coors. This game is obviously at home. 11-3 does feel a little expensive. I'm not expecting him to go for another 30. You can see here that he's capable of giving you that kind of upside, but at 11-3, it's like you really, really want the 30. And I don't know if it's such a lock. So I do like Buehler, but I don't love him. I think I would take Buehler over Carrasco at this point. Carrasco is known for his home and road splits. Did have a really good game at home against the Twins. They were kind of in a funk. He's dominated the White Sox, but most of the time, like that we've seen him dominate, it's been in Chicago. He's a very good pitcher. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I do prefer to play him on the road. So he is at home. I think he's fine. I think in cash games, he's probably where most people are going to go, and for good reason. It's the White Sox opposed to the Rockies, so I'm totally fine with Carrasco in cash, but in tournaments, I probably would give the edge to Buehler. But to be honest, in tournaments, I don't think I'm going to be looking to pay up. David Price going up against the Yankees. This is actually a tricky spot. So Price has looked awesome lately. There's no question about that. He's looked really good. He's had some tough competition and is balled out. But this time he's going to face the Yankees, a team, as you can see, that has gotten to him before in the past. You can look through the slew of games, and there was only 2 bad games he's had lately, even showing up in his DraftKings game logs. One was against Miami. The other was against the Yankees. And this time they'll be in Yankee Stadium. Aaron Judge is back. He played today. So the Yankees are pretty healthy. They got Gary Sanchez, Andujar, Glaber, a lot of lefty mashers. So I don't think I'm going to be on Price. If anything, I might have interest in a Yankee stack if I can get them fairly low owned. Just hoping that people stay away because of how good Price has been. Severino... 9.9's a good price, but don't really want to pick on Boston. He just still hasn't looked all the way like himself, and his pitch count's been a little funky. The Yankees are not in a position where they can afford to lose. They have the Oakland Athletics really gaining on them. I think the A's, as of before the games were tonight, they were like a game and a half back. I know the Yankees won. The A's are still playing, but they're still competing over home field advantage for the wild card spot. So that's something the Yankees are definitely going to want to win, so they can take advantage of Oakland's depleted pitching staff. But 9.9, don't think I want to do it. Could play some Yankees. I don't think I want to stack against Severino, but I could definitely play some. Red Sox. I don't want to stack against Severino, but I could play a couple guys against him for sure. No interest in Cole Hamels. Good ballpark in Arizona, but 9.6 against a team that's pretty tough on lefties. I don't think I want to go there. I think Arizona could be kind of interesting as well. Robbie Ray, 9.2. I'm always interested in Robbie Ray because of his massive upside, but Chicago, even though they're not great against lefties, they can be tough. You can see here 22.8 at 7.3. If we got a 22.8 at 9.2, we're not going to be all that thrilled. So in tournaments, so I'm okay with Ray, but I'm not like over the top strong on him. He has looked pretty good lately. Stratton is 8.4. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I actually like the Padres against him. He has been pitching better since coming back up to the majors, there's no question, but it's like when he does well, he's done really well. I don't believe that he's all of a sudden some great pitcher, so I think that this is just an overspend, and I think that I would actually have interest in the Padres, who are favored there. Felix Pena against the A's. I'm just not trying to stand in front of the A's. He's been decent. He's been getting the job done. He's got a price increase. He's got a good ballpark, but the A's have just been, they're just not a team I want to pick on right now. They're playing for a lot, and they've really been carried by their offense. So not exactly the team I want to take a pitcher against. Keuchel's been better, but Seattle is tough to strike out. Don't think I want to play that game. Archer's kind of interesting. So he didn't do all that great against Milwaukee. It was a bad ballpark. Gave up 2 home runs, but I like the fact that he did throw 103 pitches. You can see that before that, he's been kind of limited on his pitch count. So the fact that they let him go, I do like that. He's at home this time against Kansas City. Taillon did work against these guys. So I think that that is a decent price for Archer still. I think we're seeing that he's not as good as he was in Tampa when he pitched in Tampa. But I still think there could be some value in that price and this matchup. Harvey, he's pitched well. This is a little expensive of a price. I don't hate it. But I just don't think Milwaukee is a very good matchup for him. There's going to be a lot of lefties. Maybe if we get a lineup and they're going pretty right-handed dominant for some reason, giving their guys rest, I can see it. But if they throw their typical like lefty dominant lineup, I don't think I could do it. There's just too many lefties, and Harvey does still struggle against lefties. Leake is not pitching. This is yesterday's pitcher. Seattle has not announced a pitcher yet, so we'll ignore that. Tyler Anderson at 7-2. I do have interest in. He didn't do all that well against San Francisco. I think a lot of us were disappointed. He hit his salary, which is fine. Now he's a little bit more expensive. He played the Dodgers in Coors, and it didn't really go well. But I do think that Tyler Anderson is a decent pitcher for the most part, and I'm still willing to attack him against a lefty. You can see he did put up a 20 once before. At 7-2, you'd gladly take that. So I know he didn't do well in his latest start. That was also in Coors. This time he's going to be in a much better ballpark. I have interest in Tyler Anderson in tournaments. Gio, what to do with Gio? So he looked good that one game. Didn't look so hot against Pittsburgh. Now we get Cincinnati, who's been kind of hot. I don't think I want any Gio. After that, we got the bottom tier. Brett Anderson. Angels are pretty bad against lefties. I guess you can make a case for him. Phil Meyer, not really interested in that one. Yacobonis, no thank you. Estrada, wow. Do we want to attack Estrada? Estrada's been really bad. This is another horrible ballpark. Big time fly ball pitcher. From a game theory aspect, Aaron Sanchez did not do well against Baltimore today. Maybe that lowers some ownership. I don't think it's the worst idea. You can see here against Cleveland, he did manage a decent score that you would accept at 4-8, a 14-7. But I lean towards Baltimore, man. They've been hitting a little bit better. It's a great park. Estrada gives up a ton of fly balls. I got to say, I do think I lean towards Baltimore in this. You can see at home, he put up a 12 against Baltimore, which is not winning you anything. But at 4-8, again, it's not hurting you either. But I got to lean towards the Baltimore Bats, and which is probably going to be one of the best hitting environments on the slate. Erlin would probably be my cheap option. If I was going to go for a cheap guy, I think I would roll with Erlin. I don't think Erlin is necessarily a great pitcher, but I don't think he's all that bad either. Yeah, he didn't do well against Cincinnati. That was a weird series, and he was on the road in a small park. He's going to be home against the Giants, who have just been awful. I know they put up some runs against Lucchesi, which kind of sucked, but at 4-6, you just don't need a whole lot. Now, obviously, this is a tournament-only kind of play because the pitch count for Erlin is very inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get. But I think if he pitches well, they'll leave him in there a little deeper and let him throw a little more pitches. And I don't know, at 4-6, I like it against the Giants. There should be some strikeouts. Should be some, a lot of balls that are hit weakly. I think that he's an awesome option on the cheap. So if I was going to go like cash games, I think as of right now, I would probably rock with like Carrasco and maybe Archer. You're going to need some value bets to kind of pull this off, but I think that seems like a viable way to go. In tournaments, again, I don't mind Walker Buehler in tournaments, but part of me kind of wants to come down here. And like if there was a situation where you really needed to load up on bats, I could go with something like this, like an Anderson Erlin, and then have a ton of room to load up on whatever hitters I want, which kind of makes sense. Like if I wanted to stack the Yankees, like this is definitely a way that I can do that. I'm curious to see if there's any BVP, these notable BVP the Yankees have. Anything notable? Let's just take a quick look at this. Let's see. There's Gio, Matt Harvey, Carlos Carrasco. Where the hell is... Okay, we're getting closer. I can feel it. There we go. So, Gary Sanchez, 6 for 12 with 5 home runs. Gleyber Torres, 1 for 4 but with a home run. Didi Gregorius is 13 for 32 with a home run. Yeah, the Yankees look like they're in a pretty prime spot in a game they need. So I can do something like this, stack me up as many Yankees as I want. Oh, man, even the Yankees are pretty cheap. Like, if you do this build, you can literally do whatever you want with the rest. I can get me some Christian Yelich action who's been just absolutely on fire. And I still have a shit ton of money. Say I wanted to go Lindor against Covey, and then I still have a ton of room at first base. Like, you're going to have a whole bunch of salary here to kind of do whatever you want to do. Maybe even too much salary. So maybe you don't need to go this way. Maybe you sub him out for an Archer. Hypothetically, go like a double mid-tier build. You have to come down on some of these guys, but you guys get the gist. Let me just see. I could still get Yelich and still have, excuse me, some decent money left over to make a decent lineup. So I'm liking the Yankees as a contrarian stack. I don't know how contrarian they'll be. I'm assuming they will be because of how good Price has been. And I also think the Rays are worth a look. Obviously, the Indians are in a very good spot against Covey, but the Rays are kind of interesting here if you want to get some Goldschmidt. They have been pretty good against lefties, and they're really tough to strike out. And if what's-his-face can't get strikeouts, he could be in for a long day, Cole Hamels. So it's kind of what I'm looking at. So as far as top 3 pitchers right now, I like Tyler Anderson at 7.2. I like Robbie Erlin at 4.6. It's just a matter of like who's the spend up that I'm into, and I want to lean towards Buehler of all these guys, but I don't love too many of these guys. Carrasco seems like one of the safer options on the board. But in tournaments, to get some lower ownership, I guess I could go with either like a Robbie Ray or a Walker Buehler, but Carrasco is probably the optimal play and the optimal matchup. As far as stacks, well, I like the Yankees for sure. I think I like Baltimore second. And then I could get behind the D-backs. So Orioles, D-backs, and Yankees at my first. This is, again, my first look, but that's what I'm thinking. Home run time. Let's go back to Christian Yelich. I think that's an easy one. I think that our boy Gleyber hits a homer tomorrow, and then we're going to go with Gary the mother freaking GOAT. I am not a Yankee fan. I am a Met fan. I just think the Yankees are in a pretty good spot, and if you can get them low owned against a lefty at home, that's typically a good way to go. Don't forget, guys, check us out at wisestate.com for more fire DFS content. We will have our usual MLB DFS content tomorrow for the main slate only. Early slate is too short, but come rock with us, see what it's all about. Day Pass gets you in for $2.50. You'll get access to all MLB content for the day. If you like what you see, or if you've already tried the Day Pass and you already know, it's just a matter of waiting. I don't know what you're waiting for. Just sign up for the monthly access. Get access to our Slack chat where our guys really break the slate down together. Our experts and our members alike both kind of come together and discuss their game plans and strategies for the slate. So definitely make sure you get down on that. Again, it's monthly plan or higher. The Day Pass will not get you access to the Slack. It will get you access to the content, which is, obviously a big chunk of it. So if you want to try us out, but ultimately you're going to want to sign up. And if you were with us for basketball, and if you're waiting for basketball, don't you worry. The first preseason slate that comes out, Paulie D will have his cheat sheets ready. I can tell you that. Paulie's super excited about that. Other than that, we got NFL coming up, guys. All Sports Monthly. We have it all. We have NASCAR. A couple weeks left of golf. We have MMA going year-round. We have NHL this year. We'll have an NHL write-up. We have 2 new hockey guys who are awesome at hockey. They'll be providing some articles for hockey slates and as well as Slack chat support. But again, man, we're not just a DFS content provider. We're a community. With that said, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that thumbs up, that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching us on Facebook, give us a like and a share to support the Wise Take Nation. If you're watching us on Twitch or Twitter, give us a follow, give us a retweet. And if you're listening to us on Podbean or iTunes, give us some 5-star reviews. All these things really help us out. They support the Wise Take Nation. So if you're a fan of the nation, fan of the show, and you want us to continue, show us a little bit of love on these social media platforms. It goes a long way. For myself, the entire Wise Take Nation, as always, good luck.
Yeah.